we had literally 4 days before everything shut down, we bought a new house, and that project was going to be massive. Like gut renovation, extension, like huge project.
We love real estate.
I hope we exceed our goals in business.
This is part of us building legacy.
I can't believe you're nervous.
She's been having anxiety.
I thought this was going to be like the easiest closing of all time, but
Oh, that's it?
now we wait. Now we wait for the
Wait for the title company.
title.
Of all days.
Don't worry.
No, this is the reason why we can't wait to kill this deal, like get it done. Because
You just want it over with.
because every step of the way has been an issue.
Little issue.
It's been like crazy, like having them leave the company and almost not being able to get our clear.
Which was very rare. That never
rare.
happened.
Exactly, but it happened to us.
Yeah, it happened.
It's part of this deal, right? And now the closer is not here. Sports.
But
He
in
went
real
to another
estate,
office.
in real estate, you adjust.
100%. You have to in life.
This is stuff that we do, right? This is stuff we do for a living. And
He
people,
literally just left Patterson.
I have clients that never understand that part. That you just have to adjust, and sometimes they almost think I'm insensitive when I say that. And I'm like, you just gotta deal with it,
Right.
because there's really,
What are you gonna do?
unless you want to go to the courts and fight, let's go to the courts and fight.
It's been crazy.
It has.
Oh my God, this was supposed to be so easy and simple, and we're 2 hours later, we're still sitting here.
Now it's a matter of, does this get resolved? If it gets resolved, we're done. If it doesn't, then we're not done.
That's exactly how that goes.
We just have
Okay,
to
so
set
we
it up.
officially are not closed.
We dry closed.
We're officially not closed. We should be celebrating with champagne and lunch, but instead we're not celebrating quite yet.
So where was our head? Well, I think our head was, oh my gosh, is this really happening? All we knew is that we had to stay home and we couldn't show property, we couldn't talk to anybody. We had a viral virus that nobody knew anything about. And our clients were calling us wondering if they should they close on their property, should they still sell, should they still buy?
It was the strangest time in
was-
our life.
it was like a
I
movie.
can't remember a time that was so strange, like where
And then-
everything was just turned upside down. We're buying this property, we still have our house, and like we're gonna have to hold this property until who knows when. If it had
Yep.
been 11 months, could have been 3 months, we didn't know. So we
Could've
had
been
to
years.
we had to just sit on the property that we had to start paying our mortgage for in like a month and keep our condo. So it was just a very strange time. And was our business gonna even be the same? Like, how do we just hold on and maintain while we kind of get some kind of idea what this is gonna look like?
So Trippin' started with us trying to get content out there. And, so our marketing director said to us, why don't you guys just pretend that you're going to the French Riviera?
So we just arrived in the French Riviera. It's so beautiful.
And so we rolled with it. Like, we
Yeah.
were like, okay, how can we make this fun? So I went upstairs and I got a scarf.
Right.
I put on my big black glasses. And at that time, we were still nervous about even going outside.
Right,
'cause,
we were
right?
absolutely
We didn't
scared.
even
We wore
know.
gloves, like-
we wore those plastic, gloves.
Latex
gloves.
It was born out of boredom, honestly. Like we were like, let's get the hell out of the house. And she came up with this idea, and so we just started driving down 440, the French Riviera.
And people were calling.
How'd you get
"We're
out
in
the country?"
How'd you get out of the country? How'd you get on a flight? We're like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Did you not notice the dirty Hackensack River water? Did you not notice any of that?
So I guess it was believable.
Yeah, and so with that, we just decided like, why don't we just keep doing this? Because we
Yeah.
were so bored, and like, you can trip at home and do anything. Like, what would you do when you fly to the French Riviera and hang out? Where would you go to next?
So we went to Abu Dhabi.
Beaches, and we went to go smoke hookah. We did
And
all
I
the
cooked
kind
a
of stuff.
dinner
Yeah.
from like one of a French restaurant.
Yeah.
And that was really fun because then we saw Nick Lachey and his wife Vanessa.
Just holding up these little face cards of them, and like we were just really tripping. And people were like really enjoying the content we put out. So much so that friends of ours started doing their own tripping at home, like going to Asia and going all over the world and eating different food. So it just became a really fun thing to do.
All those scenes occupied a lot of our time.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't make phone calls.
It was weird to call someone and say, hey, you want to list your property? And during the middle of, it was just not the thing to do.
Our biggest thing was really touching base with like everyone that meant everything to us.
Yeah. So in this episode of The Pull-Up, we are down in Old Bridge. We came to visit Dana and Gerald, Sergio and Claire. We just wanted to get out the house and come see them.
We are social butterflies, I think. I mean,
I think so, yeah.
I mean, we're out with our friends and family every weekend. So knowing that we were going in lockdown and we couldn't see anybody was strange. It was probably mid-April when we started doing Pull-Up, where we just would drive up to our friends and families' houses and yell from the car.
Like, pull up! It was like crazy. And they would be like, who the hell is outside?
Right.
Pull up!
And we'd be honking our horn.
And we would just pull up on everybody. And that came out of sheer boredom. Like, we were like, we got to get out of this house.
We pulled up on Amy and Eric.
Yeah.
That was the funniest. They hadn't seen anybody in like a month and a half. They were really
They happened to be sitting outside.
Yeah.
I felt like Eric was gonna cry.
I did
like,
too.
Eric was
Love
like,
you,
oh
Eric."
my God. He was so happy to see us.
Humans.
And then we pulled up on my sister.
Yeah, we pulled up on a few people, so
a couple other
it was
people
fun.
too. It was fun.
It was fun.
It was actually fun.
So we closed on the house on March 10th.
Yeah.
And we didn't even really close on the house because there were title issues. So we thought we were going to be able to celebrate. And then Friday the 13th, right? That was Friday the 13th. And all of a sudden the news came on and basically they announced that we were shutting down everything tomorrow. And honestly, it was like surreal. Like I just remember us all kind of looking at each other going, no, this isn't happening. Can I have another glass of champagne?
Yeah, it was like not a
and
big
then
deal.
it really sunk in later on when we got home that night.
This is
Oh my
real.
God, like we can't leave our house.
It was super scary. The whole thing with the house, we were so excited because we were like, this is part of us building legacy, right? We want to buy a house, we want to have it for our family and develop a project. And then all of a sudden it felt like the dream was like, you know, maybe not the best idea to be closing right now. We're in a pandemic. Crazy.
April was a slow month because I think that was the month that like it was a little bit unknown. And then when they started to put out more information, May started to get busy. And then we saw a surge of people wanting to move from the city and also Jersey City to the burbs. So people were calling and saying, we want to sell, we want to list. So that's when Russ and I were like, okay, this might be a good time. Instead of us staying in our place while we do the renovations, why don't we put our place on the market and see what we can get for it?
Right.
And I'm super glad that we did because we got a much higher price than what we had anticipated. It was the right move for us.
I believe August 17th or 27th, I think it was in that time frame, we started demo.
That's when we were able to demo.
Yeah,
So
it took
think
us
about
like
that.
5 months.
April, May, June, July, August.
like
5 months to get our permits.
5 months to get our permits. After we closed, we thought maybe 30, 45 days we would probably get through the city and get everything approved. But because the city had shut down, we couldn't get in really. I don't think we submitted our plans until end of June or mid-June. Demo starts in August and then the project started to take off.
Had it not been COVID, we probably would have finished the project a little earlier. But because of COVID, it stretched out almost a year.
Right.
Before we could actually move into our new home.
So not only did we have delays on our project because of stuff like that, we also, because of COVID and because of the exodus from the city, more people started staying home, right? So people started buying more things. They started like reinforcing their house. So they started ordering more supplies, doing renovations. So that caused a delay, that caused prices to go up on lumber. It also caused shipping delays on like kitchens and everything. So everything started, everything you can imagine for a house, down to doorknobs and nails, whatever it was, there was always a delay or they were marked up 3 times. So how does it feel to be in our new house? I personally feel like I'm staying at an Airbnb and that I'm gonna get kicked out. I don't know why I feel like that. It just feels really new and nice. I don't know. I've never had a shower this nice ever in my life before. And it's just the house is like really cool. And it feels like something you would only stay in on vacation. And that's what I'm struggling with. But it feels good. It doesn't feel like home yet. And it's probably because we haven't really moved in everything. We still have furniture to buy. We still are doing a lot of work, and I think that's gonna be for a while. What do you think?
Yeah, it doesn't quite feel like home. I mean, you know, we're missing a big part of us. So, you know, we haven't moved in 100%, but it'll start feeling like home eventually. So.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough.
I want it to feel like home, but of course, most everyone knows that we lost Chance last year. And that was the worst thing. We actually had a really tough year.
We bought a house that we couldn't even start our project on. We were moving out of we were selling our condo. My mom got sick and I had to go home and take care of her, my sister and I, only a few months into COVID. It's a lot. I'm flying back home on a flight to see my mom with mask on, like people wearing plastic bags. It's just craziness. And she didn't do well at all. She didn't. So my sister and I just landed back in South Bend. It's June 29th. Our mom didn't make it. She was rushed to the hospital and unexpectedly and just went to hospice. The cancer just took her really quickly. So I'm flying back here and we're moving and then Chance gets sick. That was like our son. He was our son because we don't have kids. We didn't plan on having kids and that was our son. We're moving into an apartment that, you know, just doesn't feel like home either. So we're displaced. We don't have our project going yet because the city shut down. My mom dies, Chance dies, and then a month later, Erin's grandfather dies. And we just kept getting hit. It just was like, boom, boom, boom. It's crazy.
When you get hit back to back to back to back, within 3 months, you lose 3 of the most important people in your life. It takes a toll on you. I've never been a depressed person, like ever. And it was probably at that time, I could honestly say I was extremely depressed. And so I understand a little bit more about depression, more so than I ever knew.
It was tough because we were going through all this and we couldn't even mourn with our friends and family.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, I turned to like basketball to go out and shoot and work out just to get away because since I was a kid, basketball was my first love. And it was such a good outlet for me when I needed it the most. I hadn't played basketball in a year and a half or so. Yeah, big losses that summer.
I think 2021 goals are us moving a different direction in our real estate. I mean, obviously we have a big business in real estate and we want to make sure that we, you know, continue to do what we do, but we also want to branch out and get involved in more development.
For me, I fell in love with development. I fell in love with design, development, space planning. These are probably gonna go in the Airbnb. These are probably gonna go here.
Okay.
Just because I don't like that. I hate that. I like that clean look. I love creative directions and stuff like that. So building this house gave me like a new love. I fell in love with it and being a builder, developer, rehabber, whatever you want to call it, just getting in that business on some level is going to be something I'm looking forward to. Obviously, we want to keep our team dynamic, a nice, small, tight team. We love real estate, And you can do so many things in real estate. You don't have to just be an agent. You could design, you can build, you can rehab, you can flip homes, you can buy and hold. So we're gonna be tapping into all of those realms.
The end of 2019 and to 2020, my partner Carrie and I, we launched Next Chance Rescue, and we saved 117 animals in 2020.
Awesome.
So that was a huge accomplishment during one of the worst years of everybody's lives. We were able to really grow the rescue and save a lot of animals. So that I'm super proud of. I know Carrie's really proud of, and we're continuing Next Chance Rescue.
For a whole year, we just didn't have the energy. We just kind of lost momentum. And it was just because of all the losses, it was just kind of like compounding. But now, 2021, going into 22, we are back. We have hired a PR marketing firm. We are ready to relaunch Dreams in Progress. All the things that we've been wanting to do and say, now we got the energy to say it. We were filming actually and just didn't feel like it was right. So now we feel like we are back, we're in our house, things are looking up on our business. Being able to be around our friends and family has been invaluable, and we actually live in our house now, which is great. So yeah, we're excited to get back and start pumping out some content for you guys.
We're gonna share good, bad, ugly, fun times, bad times, all the truth, ups and downs.
No highlight, not all about highlight reels. It's gonna be the truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the tough times, because that's reality, that's real life. And I think if COVID taught everybody anything, it's just like you gotta be yourself, and you gotta take care of yourself and how much you love your friends and family. But being authentic is the truth. And it will always show through if you are being authentic.
Right. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. If you like it, do a thumbs up. If you don't like it, do a thumbs down and contact us and tell us what you want to see. But please subscribe to our page and share with all your friends and family. And if you want, you can always send us an email and tell us any of your opinions. Good, bad, ugly. Thanks again. Thanks for watching.